We were seconds from losing her, and the only reason we didn't is because of a dog we almost didn't feed. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ridiculous Report. And I have another story in here. This one is very interesting. Here it comes. I'm not the kind of guy who cries. I'm a 41-year-old father of two, husband of one wonderful woman, and a civil engineer by trade. I fix bridges, not feelings. Or at least that's what I thought. This story changed everything. I thought I knew about life, loyalty, and dogs. 3 months ago, we took a much needed family vacation to the Outer Banks in North Carolina. Just a quiet rental house by the dunes, a beach, and zero Wi Fi. Exactly what we needed to unplug and reconnect. My wife Heather and and our 11-year-old son Max, and our 6-year-old daughter Stephanie, or Sophie. Mention their ages because it matters, especially Sophie. Sophie is a firecracker in a tutu. She loves animals, talks nonstop, and thinks she's part mermaid. She was counting down to this trip for weeks. We had buckets, sand toys, matching swimsuits, and she even made seashell necklaces to give to the dolphins. Okie dokie. But we almost didn't come. I had a project deadline. Heather had to work and Max had soccer camp. We were this close to canceling. I thank God every day we didn't. All right. Day 2 of the vacation, we noticed a dog hanging around the house. Big, scruffy thing, looked like a mix between a German Shepherd and a bag of mulch. A bag of mulch. Mangy fur, one floppy ear, eyes like he'd seen some things. No collar, just there. Every morning, sitting near the dune fence watching us. Oh, yeah, okay, I know what he's talking about, yeah. Sophie was obsessed immediately. She named him Captain and insisted he was her vacation protector. We told her not to get too close. Might have fleas, might bite, but the dog didn't bark. He didn't growl. He didn't even move unless we approached him. He just sat watching. Every day, same thing. Captain would appear at sunrise, sit 20 feet away, watch us build sandcastles, followed from a distance on our walks, then vanish around sunset. Max joked he was like a lifeguard. I joked he was casing the joint. On day 4, Sophie snuck in part of her sandwich. He ate it politely, didn't beg for more, just wagged once. That night, I let my guard down. I left out a bowl of water. He's starting to grow on you, huh? All right. Day 5 started like any other. We were down by the waterline, Heather reading, Max boogie boarding, Sophie digging for sand crabs. I was tossing a frisbee with Max when I noticed Captain sitting on the edge of the dune, watching. Again. The tide was coming in a little stronger than usual. Nothing scary, just burst waves. Sophie was only ankle deep, scooping water into a bucket. Then it happened. The tide was coming in a little stronger than usual. All right? In seconds, a rogue wave came farther than any before. It crashed over Sophie's knees and pulled the bucket from her hands. She squealed like a laugh at first. Then it turned into a scream. She stumbled backward, but the sand gave way and she fell. The undertow grabbed her legs. Uh-oh. Another wave hit. She was gone. I dropped the frisbee. Time slowed. I couldn't even hear my own feet pounding across the sand. Heather's book hit the ground. Max was shouting. My brain screamed, "Get to her!" But the water was faster. And then, out of nowhere, Captain appeared. He tore past me like a missile. I swear I'd never seen an animal move like that. Straight into the surf. He dove into the water, no hesitation, disappeared into the foam. Seconds ticked by. Then Captain surfaced, with Sophie's hoodie gripped in his mouth. She was coughing, grasping, eyes wide with terror, but alive. He dragged her until I could reach them both. I scooped her up. Heather was sobbing. Max dropped to his knees. Captain limped out behind us, soaked, shivering, and collapsed right into the sand. Well, we wrapped him in towels, called the nearest vet, drove 40 minutes inland with Sophie hugging him the whole time. Turns out, Captain had no chip, no tag, no reported owner. The vet said he was probably 7 or 8 years old, malnourished, old injuries, like he'd likely been dumped or had wandered to the beach for months, maybe longer. But none of that mattered. He saved her. No hesitation, no training, just instinct and heart. We adopted him right then and there. Captain now lives with us. He sleeps at the foot of Sophie's bed, follows her to the bathroom, rides in the car with his head out the window like he owns the highway. The vet fixed him up. We gave him a collar, toys, treats, the works. But Sophie still insists he was magic. And honestly, I'm not so sure she's wrong. Think about it. We almost canceled that trip. I almost told her not to feed him. I almost let fear of the unknown blind me to the greatest protector my daughter could have ever had. Sometimes a hero doesn't wear a cape. Sometimes he has banded fur, a crooked ear, and a soul that sees what we don't. Now I ask you, was it fate? Or was it just the right dog at the right place at the right time? Interesting. All right, sir. I have to admit, and so that this was a good one. All right, everybody out there and stuff of that, tell us what you think and stuff of that. Put it down in the comments and stuff of what you think of this story. All right? All right, you have a great one. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.